that moment happens where you know you're not playing at TI, you're like, well, I think those guys struggle to find the motivation to play the other tournaments because they've been at TI, they've won TI. What does an out-of-season tournament really matter? And they don't have that same motivation to play at their best for these smaller tournaments.
If you've climbed Everest before, you're not maybe as excited about taking on these smaller climbs, right?
Yeah, but with the
Mount Baldy, right
potential,
Mount McKinley doesn't seem so appetizing after you've conquered.
Yeah, but what about this? What about the future of Dota now with the new system in play? Would this, would a tournament like this have those points? You know, maybe you'd want to actually stay with the team and try to get some more, because they're handed out also, like they said, player individually. So RTK would get points like, or sorry, Chuan/Hao could get extra points just playing in a tournament like this with Vici Gaming. I don't know. Post TI time still would be.
The big thing to remember with that is, when it comes to qualifying for like TI, it only counts the three highest point players on your team. So it gives teams the flexibility to bring in a new youngster. They can only do it's the same with like the trade deadline. So you have to do it during the roster shuffle time. So you can't like totally screw over your players or anything, which is great and all. But then you can bring in like a new pub star going into TI, or you can bring in someone like Chuan. Like, let's say you're a team that's like done well, you got some good points plays, but you feel like you're just not quite a TI winning team. You can bring in like a veteran like Chuan as that fourth or fifth player. He could have not played the entire year, but you could still be qualified to go to TI just because he doesn't need points. Chuan. Yeah, because he's Chuan.
5 seconds remaining.
That's interesting. That's going to be an awesome, system. It's going to be an awesome season of Dota.
There's been some other rocky stuff with this team. Chuan, I think End and Ori, maybe it wasn't the easiest for them to play with him, and then they end up bringing in Lanham to coach this team, kind of with that veteran leadership and the voice that Tron listened to. So End ended up basically stepping aside. I think he gave it a go with that squad Dango as well. Ultimately, it would have been an issue of like, hey, if they actually make it to the main qualifiers, I don't think he's contractually allowed to play against his VG squad. Well, now he's back to the VG team because Hao has stepped aside as well. So Hao and Tron obviously like they had experience playing together and on newbie and such, and they're part of that same kind of generation of like older players, but it's a little bit different with the young ones. So that's always been an issue with like in the Chinese scene, like the newer players and the older guys, like how do they mesh, who do they listen to? If a younger player should be taking a leadership position, is that possible with an older player that's still there on the team? So that's something that VG has recently had to wrestle with a little bit.
All right, gentlemen, we have a draft underway now for these two teams, OG versus Vici Gaming. Vici Gaming, actually, like, what's Vici Gaming's current record here? I don't know if I'm safe to alt-tab on my screen, unfortunately.
I'll check for you if I can.
OG,
I think they're
as we know.
They beat newbie, so I think they're 1-1.
They're 1-1. 1-1 for Vici, 0-2 for OG right now. They had first pick, and with that first pick, they got the Earth Spirit. But if any team was to pick Earth Spirit first, should be OG. I will confidently say that Jerix is the greatest Earth Spirit player on the planet. Every time I cast a Jerix Earth Spirit game, and I say this though, he tends to unfortunately not have his best game. I'm just saying that. I mean,
no word on if Mars has produced better.
You never know. Mars Spirit could be a big thing. Does leave the Sand King out there. It's interesting that OG still banned the Drow, even to go against VG Gaming. They just don't want to go against the Drow game. Sand King gets picked up, and a Warlock, and we go back to the fabled Fly Phoenix once again.
This is the classic TI 6 era OG Fly Phoenix.
Turn to pick.
Well, it wasn't Jerix M, but the Earth Spirit that Crit used to sometimes play, but now Jerix, of course, has been the front runner for this hero for OG, and it's very much like old school comfort picks for OG.
We've seen a lot of a decent amount of Bloodseeker from Vici Gaming, so I'm wondering if they'll kind of stick to that and go with that direction here. HYM is drafting for them, and then for OG, I think they ran an Arc Warden in their first game against EG. I believe they let the they let the Drow through, ended up being a Storm, and they ran the Arc Warden, and that was interesting because I don't think they've yet won a game on the Arc Warden, but the hero looks promising in like a number of ways, right? Like the way it's played, like they use it to fight, they'll bring him over to like rotate his illusions to the safe lane. I mean, rather to the mid lane to help out the mid. It's interesting. It's an interesting hero against like a Drow draft or a lot of range heroes. It seems like it would have added value in some ways.
It's a very unique concept because you can fight while farming. You send that illusion to a lane to go fight with your team while your hero farms, and on top of that, it's like a zero risk fight. You lose some, you give up gold, which is I think the big change, So there is a lot of benefit to killing the illusion, but the hero itself you're not dying, respawning, you're still farming, so you've got that constant uptime. But
it's an illusion farmer, guys. It's OG.
Yeah. Let's see.
How long before they just go back to the Alk because he got a little bit of loving? That's when, or the Nagas just somehow creeps her way back into the draft.
The plus point, the 2 to 2.5 bounty rune scaling, and then was it the base stat increase, or is it the
for Naga?
I think it was 13 to 16.
Something got
his...
buffed. Yeah, I can pick that up. I had the patch notes still open.
I have them here, but yeah, I get.
Naga Siren, base health regen from 0.5 to.
Oh, I was talking about the Alchemist.
The Alchemist got some stats. Yeah, base adjunct. So he probably gets like an extra starting armor, and is just going to be able to last hidden farm that a little bit slightly better. But for now, it's big team fight from OG. They get the Tide Phoenix. Usually they do pair these heroes with at least one big farmer, like the Naga or the Alk, though. So I feel like we have seen that certain level of like trial and error from OG. Like game 1, it was like, let's see if the Arc Warden works any better this patch. Game 2, it was like, all right, let's see if the No-Tell Meepo works. I mean, there is obviously they play these heroes in scrims. They played them a ton in the past, but it's always going to be different when you play it in a LAN environment against the best of the best. But they are not going to experiment with their old heroes. They're going to experiment with something a bit new that we've seen from the Chinese squads.
I think usually you're just countering them along the way or trying to. You have Batrider now against the Tide, which, you know, Batrider's going to be forced to go for the Tide, but you get Trolls, who makes anyone really good at breaking a Phoenix Egg. But yeah, Chaos Knight, what's the deal? Chaos Knight again coming out now. I read a fun thing, actually, between the games on True Dota subreddit, because they were talking about Chaos Knight, and someone was mentioning a bit how if he does become like a hot flavor, that we might see more Brewmaster again. I mean, Brewmaster kind of pops up occasionally, but the Dispel magic from the Storm Bear does 1,000 damage, and that's amplified to CK's illusions by 260%, so it's like 2.7k. And 4-second cooldown.
Yeah. That spell
on one bear.
It's received some just absurd buffs because it's so situational. Like really good, like, and it's also the last spell that most Brewmaster players micro. Like that, you pop your ulti, the first thing you do, you chuck that boulder. While you right-click a hero while chucking the boulder. The second thing you do, you grab that Cyclone Panda, you find an annoying hero, you find that Bristle, you find that Viper, and you chuck that motherfucker up in the air so he's not doing anything.
Right.
And then after that, you're like, oh, anything to dispel? Oh, this Cyclone here we can kill now. I'll dispel the Cyclone.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you're looking to dispel. Like, you're not using it to bomb down CK illusions.
Yeah, but even a late game CK illusion, where you get him a heart and everything, like 2.7k. Late game is like, here
amazing.
I come with Phantasm. Gone. One puff.
That's just the mentality of like every Brewmaster player, even at like 5k, 6k level. That's like a good Brewmaster player does all that, and you can play the hero to like a very high level. But the exceptional Brewmaster players are doing what you talk about, Dakota. And also the drafters have to pick it when it counters something like a CK.
Well, I remember
or
last
an
year,
Omni-Knight Guardian Angel, you know.
I remember last year there was a draft where Wings picked Brewmaster against Warlock, and people were theory crafting. You know, were they doing that to use Dispel on the Fatal Bonds? With the I actually asked them about that. They said, well, I don't know. Why gave me kind of a wry smile, and he said, no, we just like the hero.
He's like, that's a good idea.
That sounds more like Wings.
He's like, we should have.
But interesting. And then, you know, a couple months later, they use the Panda with the alacrity from the Invoker to just siege down like buildings super fast. But that's an example of what you're talking about. It just became like absurd, but you know, very situational, and it became like the crux of a strategy.
Because the other thing is, people were saying, because that particular True Dota thread was started by someone who was trying to push for CK, but at that time, I guess, was still not getting a lot of great, because people were looking at him like a poor man Sven, or just not as good of a Sven. But why now are we seeing him above a Sven? How does Sven not match up to where CK is currently?
He doesn't get kited, the CK. Reality Rift basically means you pull that target to you, and yeah, you're a melee hero, but you don't have to suffer from that same kiting issues that other ones. Sven, I mean, he has the stun to kind of keep them in place, but it's a much longer cooldown, so I think the short cooldown Reality Rift is what makes Chaos Knight a hero right now. That constant ability to not only spam the spell, but also reduce their armor. Like, your physical damage is pretty crazy. I really like the sustain from the crit. That lifesteal when it procs is incredibly nice for just jungling, for farming in lane, for synergizing with the armlet. So
Yeah, this hero has traditionally had some like mana problems, but when you max the Reality Rift, that spell is not really that mana intensive, and then it just feels that he plays faster, right? He's one of the fastest heroes in the game already in terms of move speed.
Yep.
If you're spamming Reality Rifts, he's not a hero that has to spend a lot of time with like protected jungle resources the same way Sven does.
10
Like, it feels like you have to stack for him, and then it's like it comes down to like when does he get his BKB, which item
5
order does he get it.
seconds
If you're on the Radiant side, it's already harder to protect and stack your jungle than on Dire, so that makes it like naturally harder to play Sven. But CK requires none of these things. Like,
Well, he can't do the.
yeah,
He can't do stacks. It's not like he doesn't have the option.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So
it is funny. They definitely like people are saying he's a poor man. Like he definitely has that similar role to the Sven, but you guys make really good cases for where those differences really lie between the farming options and or not having to even worry about making those farming options and just being able to riff people down nonstop. So it's pretty awesome.
We've got some interesting characters on this VG squad. You've got Ori is like one of the young gun type players, like a newer mid player, showing a lot of promise. Yang has established several reputations for himself. He's got one nickname, which is like kind of like leather shoes.
Leather shoes? That's
fancy shoes,
Is that why? Because he wears leather shoes?
Yeah.
Or he's like
But,
leather
he's
shoes?
also known for being a flamer, and
Oh, what?
and
That's not
he's
cool.
had a couple of visa issues. I think last year he didn't get past constantly, so people are kind of joking that like maybe he's just flaming people during the visa interview and not able to pass because of that. So
Leather shoes.
I like that FY's Steam name is Car98. He's obviously been playing a bit of
PUBG?
PUBG. Yeah, we can bringing that PUBG back to Dota.
People were saying at the major everybody was playing it, or Epi, and
At the
the
summit, you know?
people were playing. I saw
Yeah.
ROTK playing it a lot.
yeah,
Well,
the Chinese teams have had to deal with a PUBG plague. So
Yeah.
been
Western teams too. I walked into that practice room upstairs house, the summit, and there's 10 PCs in the room. Only 2 people were playing Dota.
We're just saving strats for TI.
Yeah.
PUBG it is for now. And then all the Chinese teams will have them. No, I guess they're playing it as well. I was going to say they can finally get back at us instead of us saying, oh, you're probably busy playing RPGs.
I was the old newbie, you know?
Yeah.
They started
You're
the
busy playing
the
PUBGs.
memes about
Busy playing PUBGs,
Dota.
not Dota. But we start out with a pause. I was trying to see if there's any interesting hero pickups or anything like that. And you said Amy, that's HYM, is that what HYF?
HYM.
HYM. Should I call him HYM or should I call him Amy? Who is Amy?
Probably call him HYM is fine. He was on the VG squad.
Yeah.
They briefly had Burning and JDH. So it's like the two new supports, HYM and JDH, and that didn't last very long. I think JDH got sent down and HYM stuck around. So he's also a very young player. Just it's a kind of mix of new generation players here, and with some veterans as well. But they're all pretty young. And this VG squad, they had this issue. I keep going back to this story, but when they had like a similar lineup, it was with DDC instead, where like nobody on the team was like really vocal. That was when they had like Nono. They weren't a very vocal team, even though they had lots of individual talent with like End and such. And they brought in Mikasa for Nono, and though Mikasa was clearly like not on the same skill level as the other mid players he was going up against, he provided like the leadership and the direction. And so even though like they would be behind in the mid laning phase, they still managed to win a championship with this guy just stepping in as coach. And that was kind of just how important it was to have that leader, to have like the in-game
Oh,
leadership
you're talking
and be
about
on the same page.
The Starlighter VGJ run?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
VGR it was. Or
VGR, yeah. I remember being there for that.
cool.
That was awesome. Mikasa was very impressive. Yeah, I mean, everyone was
Had Navi in the
giving him-
finals in Kiev.
Yeah,
too. That
yeah,
was also
yeah.
Special.
he was losing the laning phase, it felt like almost every game, but would still pull out sick plays later on, or his team was making sick calls. He clearly was like riding that team into the championship. And
So
now he
message,
commentates.
the message that Anna's playing 破两路更好打 means well, like, oh, we're down 2 lanes, now the game's easier, because like the creeps are coming to you, your back's against the wall.
That was my Zeus pub game earlier today. I want to be down megas. I come online when those megas roll out with my Arc Lightning.
There you go, it becomes easy to farm, right?
Yeah.
It comes straight to you.
Perfect. All according to plan. Looks like last player. No-Tail's reconnected, so we should be getting the way fairly soon. We'll see how OG can fare with the Chaos Knight. Definitely, so far, I mean, it's still very early on. It has been kind of like the breakout
Does he know
hero.
the build, though? Does No Tail know that it's all Rift, all right? Maybe you be a baller and go no stun, but 1-4, you know, whatever.
We saw 1-4-1 last game. That was the build I kind of advocated for. He hasn't gone the Magic Stick starting item, which we saw last game against the Bat Rider. Whereas this is the build I think the first Chaos Knight we saw did. Who was playing that one? Already. Was that
Ame?
Oh, Monet was last game.
The last game, yeah.
No, I'm saying the very first.
Ame,
yeah. Ame went for the no stun build. I think with this Stout Shield Mango. Whereas we saw Monet last game go for
It's a beautiful thing, by the way, when one team does the ally voice will chat and then the other team does it at the same moment. But they don't know because it's ally chat both way through. Yeah, these chat wheel things though.
So that last one, Wambula means basically we're screwed or we're done. We can't play anymore. We can't continue.
It's pretty fitting.
Is that the favorite go-to in the Chinese scene?
One of them. Most of these were recorded actually from the Kiev major because it was tough kind of going back to get like the really old clips.
Yeah.
So that one's like.
That's just RTK's thing, right?
Yeah, it's like go. Like,
Child. It's from the documentary. Who's that one though?
They're all dead?
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah, who says that?
Parker, you said that you don't have one on the voice wheel there?
No,
David's got 2. 3, I don't know how many he's got on there.
I think he's got 3 the most. He's got 3, I think Toby's got 2.
Savage
And yeah, Paul's got 1.
And then there's Paul's got 1.
Those are the 6 English ones, I think. There's 6 of each language. I think it'd be weird.
That one, though, is the best by far. That
Vlad.
Russian one or the Vlad one is just
that one's
so
just.
good.
I hope we keep getting fresh ones because when you hear the same ones over and over, and playing like the volume of Dota that we do, it's just like.
So everyone has the same soundboard.
saturation.
Everyone has the same 6-button soundboard. There's like.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to bring back your sound wheel, Dakota. That's what I'm hearing. You were the OG sound wheel.
Just have to load it up with chat wheel at this point. This is pretty much what I did.
You had WoW on your soundboard.
Yeah.
Do you have any of those other ones? Do you have They're All Dead or anything like that?
I still have my soundboard at home.
I want a Korean caster soundboard. Those guys are or like the Filipino
Philippines,
casters
yeah,
like
yeah.
start singing and stuff. I want some of that. Let's
The
get that
Spanish
out of
casters have some high moments too, you know? I think there's a lot of
We got the
potential.
G from both teams. It is time for some Dota. Let's get into it. Instantly, OG are going to smoke right up. And guess what? Vici have also smoked. It's a smoke on smoke start of the game.
You see this. You saw this a lot during qualifiers. Like you'd smoke out just to get the early wards up. So not a huge surprise here. I wonder if FY is going to go for the tree cut in the Ancients, the elevated ward spot, or if he's going to be able to instead. They see each other, but 325 and go over to chopper 2.
Oh, with the burrow.
That's
Suddenly,
a Boots Bat Rider.
yeah, suddenly we're committing like that. All right, well, Yang doesn't want to commit too hard.
I don't know where Earth Spirit is. He's the danger hero. Unless you get eyes on Earth Spirit, you cannot get too aggressive there. Even though he's on the other side of the map, that is not information Vici Gaming are wary of.
Early Orb of
30
Venom,
seconds to battle.
early point in the roll. Just the greatest Earth Spirit in the game. He's going to miss his first roll now. What do we see the ganking options here? TA is, fine. She's got refraction, so it takes a few more swats to take down, but it can be done. Troll, also bat. I mean, there's ganking potential for Jerix in the early game then.
Yeah. I think we'll see some lane securing mid, but not really kills on the TA, but just
Yeah.
harass to help Puck win the lane. And then we'll see, Tide's not really a lane you gank. I think we'll see Maxi head towards that safe lane. He'll kind of swing between mid and safe lane. Mid, just secure the lane. Bottom, look for kills. And kind of track FY on the map wherever he goes. Flyax, he got the bounty rune since No Tail was healing up after that level 1 skirmish. As a result, No Tail's magic stick will come a bit later than he'd like. Does mean Fly's magic stick will come up nice and early.
Yeah. And when Phoenix received all those nice buffs.
Well, mid lane, there
in
is
the
a roll.
previous
He landed it.
Oh, he did land it. Okay.
This is the lane secure. Roll mid. Bully TA. You won the block, so this TA is in a rough spot.
Maybe even step on forward. He is free from the other side here. Commits him with a face first roll. Gets the connection. They have to eat the fairy fire. Needs one more. Ooh,
You have to waste his salve just to live.
God, the salve to live.
Lane is one.
Oh, I mean, aren't you almost better off just dying there?
I was
And
gonna
coming
bring
back
that
to
up.
lane with the self, right?
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is
It's
under
better
attack.
for you, but it's also better for your opponents because they get
Right.
the gold. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where if it's not first blood, I think probably, but for first blood, it's a big chunk of gold for Anna or for Jarek. So it's definitely better for you as an individual just to die, but because of the amount of gold you're giving up, it's probably not worth it.
Mid's one, and Jarek's is not pulling off.
If he gets rolled on again, he's in such a rough spot.
I think
here.
he just missed
Yeah,
that
not so much
first roll,
creep cover
but
Got
here.
another.
yeah, claritying up, you know.
He's glyphing already. This mid lane is disaster.
Man.
Help.
There's the aura.
Forgot the chat wheel.
Beat her down. He's level 2. He's got boulder smash. Just
He bought a second salve just to stay in the lane.
and then dies.
Then he buys it. He does buy a TP before he dies, so he didn't lose gold, but he also doesn't have gold.
He does not have gold to lose. Which is,
That's the good news, Jack. Yeah, there's a positive.
So what do you think? Should Vici just had FY in that mid lane from the start? You know, like we saw, DC do through the qualifiers with Bulba and such?
100%. This is a
Yeah.
patch where you dual lane mid if you have to, you tri-lane mid if you really have to. DC would tri-lane mid in half their
Yeah.
games. You're versing a Jarek's Earth Spirit, you cannot expect your TA to be fine in a 1v2 there. Especially with the block. The beauty of the Earth Spirit is he's blocking the mid wave from the start. TA, I don't think had to support blocking the wave for her, so that meant the block was on the enemy hill.
Jarek's is rotated to the bottom lane now. FY and Yang are both hanging about. No tail rift shenanigans here. Maybe he's trying to bait something out from Vici's side. Or mind game him a bit. Well, Jarek's does wait out.
just
but
tilt him a little
they
bit.
have a ward over there Jarek's was standing under, so they know the Earth Spirit is nearby.
Yep. Looks like mid has stabilized a little bit. Nice play from TX. He got the cancel on Anna's salve with a sideways hit, which kind of hurt Anna quite a bit since he was banking on that. But he does have the bottle. Still.
Uh-oh, hard move for Fly, but that's what Jarek's makes his roll in. That is going to be the Icarus dive out, and if he gets a Force Spirit to land, but they got the Boulder Smash. Yang's going to be going down. A rotation comes out from YF here on Little Warlock, but OG got what they wanted, and Jarek's heads back home.
Yep. Anna at mid. Is he going to go for this kill? He does. Has a silence, but can't damage through the meld.
Or he's good.
It's not looking good. Ori can grab a bounty rune on the way back, maybe get his bottle, but not really sure. That's it. I don't think bottle's really the item when you're in this position. You're kind of heading back to base hill anyways. He's going to pick up he picks up the Bassi then sells it. Maybe he's going to get the bottle. I feel like Boots or the Bassi is maybe a better call, but it's going to be a rough lane, whatever you buy.
Yeah. The one lane we have not really had the chance to look at is kind of the win-win lane here. These were the two top last hitters for a while until Ana just took over. But S4 and Elf? Is that who that is? Elf? I said their name wrong, Jack.
Elf?
Elf? It's Elf? Troll? Warlord?
Oh, end.
N. Sorry. Okay, now I know. Yeah.
Wait, it's displaying as elf for you?
It says Elf on my screen, right? Or am I reading that wrong? No, it definitely says Elf and then something.
That's not what it says for me. Interesting.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you've been having different names in your lobbies. Oh, mid lane! Ana! There's
Roll
the
there.
burrow. Roll comes in. Doesn't commit the boulder smash yet. Seems like Ana's going to be fine, and they avoid the 3-man rotation.
Played. Shrine is up in 10 seconds, so he can even stick around. Base shift dodging some Shadow Word procs. Bad, not bad. Sankey's trying to camp this shrine, but Jarek's is too clever for that.
Yeah, they're both level 3, but...
Actually, he doesn't even need the shrine with the salve bottle coming out, so...
Ooh, he might need to kick roll away. There's the kick. There's the roll away. It's gone.
Oh, no, he's...
Uh-oh, he rolled himself accidentally onto the high ground.
Be down in a sec, but...
But yeah, okay, avoids the trouble there. But that rotation continues on here from Vici, and they take all the way to the bottom half of the map here, looking to go for No Tail. Fly still waits within the trees, but it doesn't have a point yet into that Sunray.
No-Tail showing he does know the build. 1-2-1 so far. We'll see that max reality rift.
So what's interesting about this is I kind of have to wonder where this came from first, because OG were playing Arc Warden, and I think around DAC time they went to China like practice and scrim, and since they were looking so dominant at the time, I believe as a result of that, saw some other teams start to pick up Arc Warden as well, like LGD. Like CDC had run Arc Warden before in different positions. It said that LGD basically got that from OG, so I'm not sure who started spreading what and how this came to be at this point.
And OG's actually been in China boot camping before this event. They were there for like an extra week or so, since I think they sometimes struggle to get the whole team together with Anna being Australian, so they kind of use some of these LAN events as pseudo boot camps.
Yeah, they boot camped at Mars a number of times. It's nice. Mars
Wow.
TV's got a big studio. They set up like a room for them to boot camp and you know, shoot some fun content. Liquid was there before.
Bottom lane going in.
Yes, looks like an attempt to get the Bat Rider. Jerix, though, has to bullet smash his way out from a bit of trouble. They have surrounded the Earth Spirit, and it looks like they will torch him up. Vici get their first kill of the game.
Just like this CK has not found the levels or farm in the laning stage that he ideally needs to start fighting. I'm not a fan of this. I think the raindrops is kind of wasted gold. It's a very small amount of wasted gold, and it will prevent some damage like the Sand King Burrow, but not mid lane, they're going in on Ori.
They're also going on to fly bottom. We see the Icarus dive out, but yeah, just there we catch the back end of Ori getting finished off.
I feel like No-Tail, yeah, with the build didn't need this raindrops. He needs to get that treads up as early as possible and start working on the armlet. Very small thing, but ultimately, like, he sees value, and there is value in this raindrop. Just the more small items you buy, the longer some of those core items take.
Support's also going to start needing some levelage here. See Warlock in the mid lane, still grinding it out at little level 3. They will want that rock to come online at some point, so giving him a place to farm up is going to be pretty damn important.
Jerix is nearby. He knew the troll was jungling the small camp. If he finds him, this could be a kill. No, he's being...
And stalking out for the 8-minute bounty, which he will pick up at that moment, though. Looks like HYF was able to drop down a bit of ops vision. They'll be watching Jerix now, but they're not going to be able to do much about it. He's just kind of stalking him a bit and hanging it about until he gets closer to that level 4 or to level 5 and closer to Magnetize and being able to come in with some heavy team fight play. Because S4 has been pretty much top lane the whole game. He's got Ravage, obviously. He's going to push forward into getting a hold of the mech get up. Any reason why we didn't see him just going for the Enigma that we saw him play a couple of times, or is this not the Enigma game as we see a jump actually for aiming? This should be a swift kill on the support.
Tide has more lane presence. It's probably the big thing. You can actually contest the farm with the safe lane carry, whereas Enigma, you deny some, but you're not really present in the lane. I think that's a big thing with the Tide.
Rift pullback and a stun with Jerix now showing up into the lane. It looks like Yang will be making his exit from the lane as they take down into him. OG up now 5-1. Great early start for him.
Yeah, nice kills being picked up in multiple lanes. Chaos Knight not farming amazingly, but Dota is a game of 3 lanes, and 2 of the 3 lanes are being won by OG. Tide at top, the lead farmer, the Puck in the mid lane, doing very well also, so things overall going well for OG.
You gotta credit Earth Spirit again, like Jerix, he's the playmaker. He's been everywhere setting up these kills. Other than that, like, OG kind of wants experience in the lineup, as we see.
Gets the stun onto the TA. She tries to roll in. They make a full assault onto No-Tail, quickly surround him, and he is done for. Ana tries to rotate in to have a say in the matter with the coil, but it's a 5-man approach already from Vici in the mid lane, so this OG just suddenly not prepared for these kind of numbers.
Yeah. S4 has rocked up with a Ravage though.
Yes, he has.
Kind of go time, but they also don't have a Dream Call to set it up, so he can walk in, but that means Vici Gaming will just walk away.
Yeah, he's just forcing him to step off. I don't think they have intentions to commit with this Ravage.
So overall, I think Vici Gaming, these kind of rotations are nice, but they definitely want to maintain some space for TA to keep farming. They've got this drums on bat, they kind of want to just run it OG a bit now and fight, but at the same time, running into this Tide Ravage is going to be tricky.
Yeah, both of their cores are going to need a good amount of farm. As for OG, I mean, they need experience on their heroes. They need level more than anything else to start getting those ults. And then beyond that, they can just kind of just keep taking fights. They have a lot of overlapping AoE and big ult synergy, so they definitely don't have to like sit around and wait or give VG the space that they need. Yep. Towers are starting to drop already for VG Gaming, so.
Yeah, TA and Troll both the heroes that need farm to function, whereas like this Puck, you've got this Veil. I don't feel like as a Puck nowadays you have to like sit back from your Blink Dagger. If anything, you just go fight. Before your Veil with just double null, you're really strong and could fight. Now with a Veil, he's actually really scary. His damage output is something very difficult for most heroes on the map to deal with. So
and the Magnetize is now online, or Spirit plus Veil Magnetize. It's just going to be pretty disgusting. They have great team fight. That with Ravage, there's no question.
They'll likely leave one hero farming, not because, like, Chaos Knight's farming mid alone, it's not because he necessarily needs farm, it's just inefficient to, like, fully 5-man, so they're going to go for this 4-1 split. And look for towers and ticks.
Tiny rip right there. Oh, he actually misses the Boulder Smash, though. Will they still be able to get this Sand King? Oh, they're committing real hard for it, but they did get it. Will it cost them? Oh, they're pump faking. And it did force out the shift there. And they still get their man. It's a little bit of extra effort there for OG to get the pick off, but they finally get it. A long roll in, and the Boulder Smash on forward will get the grab onto the Warlock, committing the Magnetize, and they'll make it a 2-man special. But now Yang could get caught out. They're committing with the egg. FY tries to tag the Shrine, but that's when S4 pulls the trigger on the Ravage, and they're looking to turn this in from a 1, a 2, to a 3-man and possibly 4-man pick here. Well, they'll get the 3. It does look like.
Good aggressive Dota from OG. Jarek's leading the way. He sees that Warlock and he's like, he just kind of rings the charge bell and basically running in. They know if they kill that Warlock, take away the Chaos offering, the team fight is gone from Vici Gaming at that point. They don't have epicenter, the Sand King doesn't have Blink. Their entire team fight is built around this Warlock.
Oh, Ana just jumps right into the perfect pocket spot. Troll, though, trying to run his way out. He's trying to use these trees to avoid trouble, but eventually they scout him out, orb him down, and the onslaught of OG just doesn't seem to stop. Determined to get themselves a win now at Mars TV. 10-3 seems like a good track to do so.
Yeah, it's all kind of coming together nicely with how shut down this TA is. TA is the most farmed here on this dire side and has caught up alright, but it's the fact that Vici Gaming have had to spend the first 13 to 14 minutes just playing defensively, farming Dota, which is not how you want to play on this current patch. If you pick a TA and you have a slow start, you're just putting yourself at a really big deficit.
That sucks. Go. Awesome. Pull out that Phantasm to see it. One Dinky illusion. Maybe this one illusion will help me against the bat. Here comes Yang, trying to drums himself in. Is he going to commit it for the lasso? Oh, they'll commit it for the rock. Are they going to use the lasso too? Yes, they will. Certainly with 2 ults, they'll get the pick off. But it is a rock, and it is a lasso down.
Rock being the troubling ulti to use there, because it feels like OG are just going to have a respawn and run right at Vici Gaming again.
Oh, yeah.
No reason to hesitate now.
Master Jarex will scout things out. A little low on the stone count, so probably be patient a bit. About 4 stones ready to go. It's definitely fighting time once again for OG if they'd like. Egg is up once again. Ravage will be up in just about 20 seconds time. We were mentioning a bit about how the rock is now on cooldown for Vici, so they will probably be in their best interest to avoid fights here moving forward for at least the next minute or so, but I don't know if OG are going to allow it. They smoked up. They're already making moves possibly towards the mid lane.
They leave Puck there alone. They're actually trying to fake out Vici Gaming by pretending to push mid, perhaps.
Did they have him reveal himself out of smoke there, I believe?
Okay. Yeah, they actually
they did now.
Well, that's a Radiant scan now. I'm not sure if the Dire one popped or not.
Yeah, the Radiant one's down there. The Dire scan.
The Dire one did pop in.
Just the back end of that scan.
Yeah.
And now they're just gonna not go there. Vici will just head up north and dodge that entirely. That's good for them. Good scan read.
It's gonna be tough for Vici still. Like this TA wants to normally as TA like Blink Deso is where you start getting strong and scary, but there's enough stuns and disables, spells like Fire Spirits even. Like I feel like this TA is gonna hit this Deso timing and then still can't fight because there's just too many spells that can ruin her in a team fight. Unless she somehow sneaks in Aegis, then she could. But similarly, the Troll needs like a BKB before we can fight into Ravage, Boulder Smash, Chaos Knight stuns. Fire Spirits are going to be amazing this game. So to me, Vici Gaming is buying time to get BKBs.
They need a lot more time. The fermentation process of Vici is a long one here, and OG they're thirsty, they're hungry, whatever. They just want to gobble up. They don't want to wait for the process. Ana, though, could be in a bit of trouble. TA will get the pick off there. Falling up on the back into that coil. And now the bird flying about, commits in with the egg. S4 looking to run in, gets the Ravage. It's onto 1. But a big target on Ori there. He tries to go for the meld, but no, there's a sentry. Tries to pop up, but there's really nowhere to run. And it will turn into a 1-for-2 trade for OG.
May find more. It's got an Arcane Rune. That's...
It is.
That's the dream, but at the same time.
He's just trying to bait him in. Trying to bait in this bat. Yeah, keep giving me sticky stacks. Bat is going to want to hang around too long for that.
Decent fight for OG. They lose the puck, but TA kill. Maintain some presence on the map. They do commit a lot of their big ultis. Ravage, Dream Coil, Supernova. See what Vici Gaming can do now. Their big limiting factor is not having blinks right now. So even if they wanted to take advantage of these ultis being down, they need either a blink on Sanking or the Bat Rider to actually start a fight. They can't really, there's no point smoking if you haven't got a blink dagger on one of your initiators.
Here's what the item progression is going to be for No-Tail. The other CKs went into what? Echo Saber after this?
Yep.
He is going to go straight to AC. Oh, we missed the action here. It's Jarek's getting a kill onto FY, looks like on the other side of the globe. Him and Ana, they get a nice little pick off on the support.
And here we go, Vici Smoke. They don't have that blink dagger. This is, I mean, it might work, but I'm definitely not a big fan of this since there's a very high chance of failure for this smoke gank. When you don't have a blink initiator, doesn't need a jaunt. Yeah, he's going to stay there. Needs a blink out though.
They pincered in Ana. Ana going to buckle under the pressure of these 4. Commits in the coil, and eventually they'll get the puck.
And I think at level 1 phase shift, he didn't level it up. And then also the level 2 Dream Call. I think a lot of pucks you'll see stick with level 1 just to get that max out phase shift as soon as possible for the easy blink escapes. But
what have we here?
They are successful in the smoke gank, so Caster Curse prevails.
I'll take those.
And Ori is flash farming his way to getting that Deso complete so he can be a good damage contributor in any sort of upcoming trades. And you don't want to put this all on the back of a Troll either too, because Troll also is going to be moving forward into a defensive pickup in the BKB, so damage is going to be necessary.
I think No-Tail just uses ultimate a little more liberally than the other Chaos Knights we've seen. He's just popping it to go farm with. It's got a really long duration. That's one of the big buffs to the spell. So you can just kind of send it a wave while your hero farms a jungle, or send the illusions at a wave or a jungle camp somewhere. So overall, just kind of a more farming-oriented play coming out from No-Tail.
All right, OG have eyes in Vici's woods. They don't actually have vision in there, but they are planning on moving on in. And they'll take a more northern approach, it would look like. Down a ward from Fly's side to be able to see the approach from this Warlock if he does step over a little bit closer. S4 is the bodyguard here. Ravage is up and ready. So a cautious approach as OG will just go for a more secured hit onto this tier 2 tower in the top lane. Getting just kindly escorted by the rest of the team, while Vici are handling business elsewhere. It seems like they have no interest at all in heading towards the top. They don't see any OG members across the map, so just not comfortable kind of going into any sort of ridiculous heavy team fight, at least at the moment.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, but a possible defense could be in order here for OG. They've summoned S4 to the bottom. He and Jarek's are side by side for now.
Take a tower without losing. Feels like that's the... You take one of those pawns without losing your own. They're just making small little trades that are kind of efficient for now. But they still haven't. Okay.
Jumping for Yang. Oh, he is close, but
Very close.
Ana was able to make it away. That tower is super low. It's actually deny ready. Vici are not hanging, and they're gone. Mid lane. They didn't even take a pawn. They just like looked at it for a bit and then walked away. So it's not the right time for taking pawns. OG.
If Vici can get to their double BKBs at a good time without losing any big fights, they're going to be in an okay position. The TA Troll. Troll's just going the casual Yasha BKB build. TA, Deso BKB, standard stuff, but they desperately need them. Like, until they have them, their 5v5 is very weak.
Not sure if that smoke was spotted or not. It's hard to see with deep vision down here. But once again, whether it be that or the game sense, Vici are evacuated the whole top half of the map the second that OG were starting to head that direction. And once OG kind of scout the perimeter a bit, it looks like they'll just, you know, don't mind if I do, take themselves inside the Roche pit and get things started there. Vici are nearby. You got Rock, you got Bat Rider. You know, there are some respectable forms of defense for the Roche pit that OG are going to have to factor in. Plus OG don't seem to be doing crazy damage.
Here they come. Vici is smoke, but they want to get the back lines, or at least not go on the Tide or CK.
Oh, blink in, but insta silence. It looks like the grip from Jerix was there. The fortunate lag. Couldn't quite see it, but yeah, phase shift and the pull stop Yang in his track right there.
I think OG just know there's no way this goes badly, given that there's no BKB. So Vici Gaming engaging them. There's going to be Ravage, Supernova, Magnetize.
Flame Break, Bat Rider blinking.
Yeah, he can make some plays happen, but they may trade kills.
Alright, there's the burrow. Roche isn't done yet. The Veil's going to be committed. Orb goes right into the mix. They just blow up the Sand King before the Roche even goes down. They will drop it in. Yang able to jump over, grabs it up. That's going to be the Ravage committed from S4 on the right-hand side as they trade it, and No Tail gets blasted down. It is still a favorable fight for Vici. It would look like Fly jumps out from his egg, and OG head up towards Ori's position now. Oh, they dropped the sentry, but it's going to be just off the mark. He shows himself and then quickly blinks away.
I honestly think that's like the best case scenario for Vici Gaming.
Yeah.
No BKBs. They have no way to win a team fight there. They have to have like a scrappy, chaotic engagement, which is exactly what happens. Then they sneak the Aegis while killing the Chaos Knight. That couldn't really have gone much better for them given their current item status. So I think they're going to walk away pretty happy with that fight.
Yeah, what was your take on the fight there? Jack ended up pretty split up, and I saw S4 run out from the pit to Shadow Ravage, and then just, you know, a lot of OG. I don't want to say they left No Tail behind, but, you know, he was the only one remaining in the pit when he went down.
We're seeing a lot of that. This kind of like it's kind of dueling ideas between a few more of these big team fight ults where you kind of need multiples usually, it feels like, to win the fight. Like, you don't want to use that in a small skirmish situation as they're using follow-up. Versus like more of these kind of like brawling and skirmish lineups, as Parker mentioned, with like more sustain and such. So we're seeing a lot of that, and sometimes teams are, you know, caught off guard taking a fight that they don't have strength in or shouldn't be taking. I think OG has generally done a pretty good job throughout this game, and they're very good with these kind of combo lineups. Like, even when nobody else was really running that kind of stuff, they were still confidently doing it in Kiev and afterwards.
The big test really comes when they the Tide's their most farmed hero. So you chuck BKBs on these dire sides, and that's where the Chaos Knight being where he is in terms of farm could become a slight concern. Seems like No Tail kind of realizes he's not farming too well. He's continuing just to pop Phantasm to farm creep waves.
What is it? What is it about him not being able to get as much farm as what we've seen before? Is the options out there? Is it the Echo Saber? Like, I'm curious, because it does feel like he is kind of steps below.
Yeah, he had his lane contested more than S4 did, is probably the biggest starting point, and then also the deaths. And like, if he dying in that fight really hurts him, because he's meant to get the Aegis, and he's also meant, if he stays alive for the fight, he's getting kills, he's going to boost his own economy. It's the Tide who lives and gets a huge chunk of gold while getting off lots of spells. Tide is 306, meanwhile Chaos Knight 2, 3, and 5. So the 3 deaths. Not if you die at the start of the fight, but your team wins a fight, like, yeah, on paper it's a good trade, it's a 1 for 3, but it's the key hero to get farm that's going down.
This is where it's like that kind of like trade you have between like CK and like a Sven, let's say. If Sven was like losing these fights, like he would be the one maybe farming these stacks, could, you know, blast his way back into some good farm relevance. But, you know, CK, it's like, oh, when you have to bank on your own just PvE farming to get back into the game, and he sucks, it feels like. One hit at a time on each creep, one creep per time.
This, you keep mentioning the Sven. This is a situation where it felt like if you had the Sven, you'd be able to obviously farm up a lot quicker and get back to what you need.
Yeah.
So this is a hero that doesn't like to really have his momentum broken, or to not be like constantly, like you want to be constantly winning fights and picking stuff up. If you get really set back, this hero doesn't catch up well. Similar to like how a life stealer can sometimes get in trouble too, except without the bomb potential of a life stealer.
Well, double BKBs are online, and they have picked up a gem to go with it. They have a minute left on the Aegis. This is theoretically a window for Vici Gaming to do something, but even without the Aegis, I still feel like they're going to be strong if they can get a smoke, be ready to fight fairly soon. They will no longer be as afraid of OG in these upcoming engagements. So here they go. They're just running at it.
They're looking for No-Tail. No-Tail has friends behind, but by the time they've already made the move for No-Tail, they're going to be too late. Jerix is going to be the first one on the scene, moves in with an instant grip and kick, but it is going to be too late. No-Tail been pulled away and already going to be just handled before the rest of OG can respond. Look at this, though. FY. Hard move in, gets the catch onto Jerix. S4 is trying to keep them off, has the Ravage, but they've already dropped the rock. They're looking to go, but Jerix finds the rollout and makes a hasty escape. Now the move is made from Yang, trying to get a hold of onto Fly, but it looks like Vici Gaming are good with this and head out the other direction.
Not the ideal BKB usage from TA, but felt pressured to pop it. Knowing if you blink it aggressively and there's a tied Ravage, you kind of sometimes maybe pop it in fear of it. He was not even close to bringing down S4. That's never a target he wants to go in a fight.
I see these perfect world servers are just as perfect as ever. We're bearing with it as best we can here. I'm like, all of a sudden, like, Jerix is just like sliding his way out of the screen, and I'm just like, what the hell, did he just kick himself? Oh, he rolled away, okay. It makes it entertaining.
This game's kind of going to slow down a bit because OG can't force objectives and fights as well with the BKBs up now. Whereas Vici Gaming, when to keep hunting No-Tail, he is in a rough game.
Yes, he is. Another setup could be there from FY, and then that allows Mr. Elf, aka N, to run right in. He does a little bit of that running man action, and then suddenly No-Tail just disappears.
Kind of feels like Vici Gaming are just kind of slow rolling their way back into this game and trying to gain a bit of a lead.
Yeah, they just basically recently took a lead off that fight. You have
Dire's
the
middle
gem
tower is
is up on the Bat Riders, so they can start clearing some vision out. They're just generally moving a bit more confidently on the map. OG have to get the lanes pushed out in that process. Like each hero that you take away reduces the obviously like the strength of their big ults, and so in the process of doing that, VG don't have to worry too much about an immediate fight taking place.
Radiant's top tower
They're
is
gonna
under attack.
pressure some top tower here, but I don't think they'll force a fight.
It does feel like, kind of you mentioned, like OG just don't seem to be playing with as much of a clear purpose on the map. Like when they're moving out, it just feels like they're not really clearly achieving anything with certain heroes. We kind of question like, oh, I wonder where the CK trend started. We're seeing like, I think No-Tail may be a bit uncomfortable on the hero. He's getting picked off quite a lot. He's having a rough time farming. I think even the constant ulti spam to farm creep waves not having in team fights can sometimes hurt him as well. So No-Tail is really just back into the jungle farm mode. He shows in lane, he gets ganked, so he's going to feel as safe as in his jungle, but he's also not farming particularly fast in that jungle.
Some of these OG supports can grab some farm. They could bring in their own heavy contribution to these fights. It looks like Jerix, which is nice about Earth Spirit. After you pick up, you know, your essentials like Urn and Blink, you can get a variety of whatever depending on the game. And in this one, a halberd is what stands out to him. And it, you know, hey, Earth Spirit can make a halberd work.
They're going double halberd. It looks like Phoenix has one queued up as well.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, double halberd to really shut down this TA and Troll from doing anything regardless of BKB or not.
Yeah, it's going to be actually, the supports need to have a big impact. When your carry's kind of under farm like it is, the supports need to just do more in a fight to make up for it, and that's what we're going to have to see out of these halberds against these BKB carries. See what Fly does at 15. May just be a GPM talent kind of game so you can get some of these late game items. But 65 Fire Spirit DPS is great, but not great against BKBs.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I think Phoenix might actually have the best level 15 power of any hero in the game.
Oh, No-Tail trying to run in with the Gush coming out. Man, that's the thing, is that this CK gets a hold of you, you're just dead.
They actually just force the high ground here.
All right, tier 2's going down.
Dire's middle
Force them
tower
back at
has
least.
fallen.
Do some damage with the illusions. It looks like the illusions were popped a fair bit earlier, so they're going to wear out. Speed thrown at the tower. Not bad for OG.
They still have one more tier 2 there in the bottom lane if they want to do another approach like that. I mean, that one obviously they were blessed with the pick off on the Warlock behind the tower, but we more or less look to go for the same thing.
OG's kind of in let's prepare for late game stage, which is let's deal with the BKBs.
Move bottom, they're making a move for Ana. This is an epi jumping, but instant rift, shift, blink, and now what are you gonna do, Puck? Just drops the coil, but then Troll just begins to go in on the little fairy dragon and just shreds him up. A little fairy dragon sushi.
TPing mid now. They've seen Roche. Actually, it looks like yeah, they're just gonna go instantly to Roche. Maybe find a pick at mid if possible, but Roche is the bigger objective.
Okay, hold on. Troll had the little sword for a moment. He's now inside Roche pit now. Okay.
Whoa.
We're good now. Oh man, that Roche goes down so quick. OG, you're right outside though. S4's got the Ravage. Hey, what are you guys doing in here? Walks in with the Anchor Smash. He knows he's got a Ravage and could stop this show. He's so...
Also, he's just too tanky to...
Vici are just like, oh, we don't want any of that guy.
Charles will sneak himself back in. He's like,
yeah, Jerix though, he could roll in, kick him out, and take the Aegis. S4 is back in once again. They're back out once again. Oh, but they might have found an opening here, and it's a hard, quick hit. And it's, of all people, going to be No-Tail quickly blasted out of the fight. Fly, frantic to just fly out the other direction if possible. S4 is back inside that pin once again. Jerix and Ana have scouted out the Sand King, and Jerix is trying to commit him with the Magnetize. It's still on him, should drop one more stone and be able to go for the finish. While that's happening, we're back inside the pit once again, and it's OG who are going to be able to move in and try to get it. Looks like No-Tail's bought back. They're inside, making it work. Jerix, though, trying to create the space. The Flame Break has bumped one out. The jump and grab! Did he pick it up?
He got cheese.
No, he got the cheese. It's No-Tail who managed to grab up the Aegis there. And it's going to be Vici trying to fly up and making away, but Yang will get caught. That's a gem down. It cost them the egg to get for that kill.
That's a interesting sequence of events. Like OG, they're the ones who secure Roche and put themselves in position to go high ground here, but it was a Chaos Knight buyback, but now Chaos Knight actually has ulti.
Ravage is still there too. S4 did not have to pull it out near that Roche pit. But
no RNG on the ulti.
Yeah, he's getting some pretty bad RNG.
Yeah, he's got Aegis. He's gonna feel fairly confident right now.
That upheaval though, he's like, it's taken forever to just run from the distance of the tier 3 to the racks. And now he's getting blasted on the way out. They're committing it hard for it through the BKBs to be able to do it, and S4 can't even find the opening to kind of get off the Ravage. He now has to walk himself outside from the base. They'll wait for the return of No-Tail. He goes right back in. And it looks like he will be able to get the upper hand onto that Sand King. Now moving in for the racks.
No BKBs, tight stills Ravage. This is not so much go time, but this is secure racks time if you're OG. And they will get that melee racks and then just back out safely, securely.
Good patience.
Quite the scrappy fight around Roche.
The heroes are just disappearing, unfortunately. Can't quite tell if they end up dying or not, but it looks like this one is all success for OG.
Was S4 really stepping up to the plate around the Roche pit. He stalled them so long. He was just keeping them busy for the entire time they were trying to secure Roche. And in the end, Vici Gaming were too slow to kill it. And OG capitalized on a fight outside the Roche pit to secure it for themselves. It's one of those moments like when Yang blinks in. He's actually in a better position to get the Aegis than the Chaos Knight was. Problem is, he's just frantically clicking the ground. If you pick up the cheese, you can't pick up the Aegis because that's his only empty slot. So you have to pick up the Aegis before the cheese, and you're just frantically clicking. You're just trying to pick it up before the other team. So
that timing worked out really well for him too. He like got that flame break in, almost managed to bump them both out from the pit. Then he would have had that extra moment to think about what he had to grab. But
it's where you wish you had 2 empty slots in your inventory. It's something like it's kind of been a new thing with the cheese on the second Roche, where these steals happen and you pick up a cheese, you can't pick up an Aegis. But We'll see where OG go now. They're going to kind of systematically take some shrines. They've finally got the level 3 ulti on No Tail.
Lots of stuff coming together for OG too. The Halberd is, I see, done on Jerix, No Tail, BKB, looks like.
Yep.
10 seconds fresh. Mwah! They'll be able to kind of pull that out.
Got enough game room for his next ulti too if they want to force a fight.
Yeah.
Click FY with a scan. Will they go off this?
Okay, so this guy's all ready for Yang. All the people he has to grab, it has to be S4, and my goodness, they can do the damage to take him out fast, but he does buy back. He's going to the shrine, and OG have already lost another. Jerix is going to be the first one to go down, and now OG are on pursuit to get any counter fights here. As S4 is trying to run himself back into the action, they will manage to take a hold of Troll, and
they commit a lot to get that kill. The BKB is the big part. You use those double BKBs. That's why S4 buys back. He knows we've just got another lane of racks. You use everything on me, we're going to take your racks for that. The question is, can Vici Game defend this now?
Pop their pipe, they head right in. The Greaves also going to be put in. A silence is there onto S4, who still holds that Ravage, but OG are going in for the home run. Mid lane tier 3 is dropped. The Raxes are open. Here comes the Epi move in, plus the Burrow Strike. OG still holding strong. No Tail, though, could be falling here. Does manage to BKB himself and run out defensively, and OG will be able to come back in together here, it looks like.
See if they re-engage here. They know there's possibly a BKB coming up soon on TA, but it's still a 3v5 fight. And No Tail, there we go. He's going to get the Sunray. This may be enough to secure this rack.
Oh, no, Ori going to work. The forces there and on forward. Ori looking to blast down the Fairy Dragon if possible. It's not quite enough damage. The Veil comes out. No Tail going to work for Yang. There's going to be the Ravage at night. Nice connection, too, with the Egg follow-up. Vici Gaming have to dish out everything they can for all the buybacks here. Multiple buybacks going to be committed, and quickly OG haul ass out of there. But then they grab up and pull right back in. No Tail. Can they get the finish onto the CK? I don't even know yet, but it seems like they've been able to bump him right back inside. On the goes for the finish and gets it there on Amy and on Yang. S4 swimming himself right back out. The triple kill is there, but here comes Troll and TA focusing the Tide. They can't quite finish him off. He's just so big, and with that anchor smash, it's just so much freaking work. They can't get it down. He's got Greaves too. He still lives and makes it out. Ana and the rest of OG are there to fend him off. And Vici, with the final hurrah of their defense, did not do enough damage, and, well, they're going to have to head back home and defend the scraps of their base.
It was a lot of buybacks used from that Dire team there. At least 4 buybacks, it looks like. No, I could be wrong. Could be 3. I'm bad at counting, you know. It's tired.
I think 4 were used if you count S4s.
Warlock, yeah, if you count S4s. Warlock did not. Troll did not. Okay, so they used 3 of their 5. But that's a big investment just to save your racks. But definitely going down 2 lanes at this point would be more or less GG. This is... I don't think I've seen this on TAs ever. -8 meld armor reduction over the +3 refraction. But at the same time, I haven't seen much of level 25 TAs since it was what used to be a respawn count. This is a new one. An extra -8 armor is quite a lot.
The insta burst was so useful when they got the first life of S4.
Usually the refraction seems just almost mandatory.
Yeah.
It does so much, but I guess perhaps with the Phoenix or the Earth Spirit, a little bit more of a dot going on that they can kind of nullify that.
The big thing we're seeing from Vici is they're dealing with the Tide a bit better using the Silver Edge break. That's how they kind of killed him that first time when he pulled back. It was kind of a cute idea, like, hey, this Tide is not going to expect to get bursted because he thinks he's protected by Kraken, but the Silver Edge surprise allowed them to kill him. The problem was they had to commit double BKBs to get the kill as well. If they could get that kill without using BKBs, then they can actually take the subsequent fight, but Tide buys back and they're kind of at a loss after that. See where things go from here. Level 25 is approaching, that's where things can kind of get crazy in the late game, but also these BKBs on the Dire side all down to 5 seconds at this point as well, which is a concern for them.
Yeah, and they are on the edge with the buybacks, as you mentioned, so if one bad fight here, a nice ult coming out from OG, and that would just straight up end the game. There's a Troll.
Of all the people that happen to catch out with the coil, it could be Troll, and there he is. But he hops BKB, and they look to go for the fight regardless. The follow from Yang is there with the lasso and the rock committed, but they lose Yang right away. They will be able to get fly down. OG popped their pipe. And here comes the epicenter from the Sand King. Hard hits with the Burrow follow-up, but now the Magnetize comes out from OG, and it looks like they might have done it. They will lose S4.
This is okay for Vici.
And they're finally, they're moving in, they're swinging, and they're going to get the finish on No Tail as he attempts to TP away. It's a double kill for Ori, and Vici actually managed to get the better of this fight.
Yeah, Phoenix didn't get spells off. You know, a lot of, more often than not, a team fight will come down to just who gets their spells off and who doesn't. And a key hero like a Phoenix not getting to use Sunray or Supernova in a fight like that is going to be a deciding factor. On the Dire side, you've managed to get off the Chaotic Offering as well as the Fatal Bond, so the key spells came out from the Dire supports, and without a Supernova, they definitely laxing there. And the DDTA pushing forward could clear up some of these tier 2s. Looks like for now they're going to focus the top lane tier 1.
And they do have a bit of a window here without CKO. It's just so integral to the hero, especially given this item situation as well. So, not sure if they'll try to push for more here. I think Troll's going to knock down the top tier 2 here, and that's going to open up the base potentially if they do want to make a move with Ravage down for at least for more than another minute as well.
Oh, they're pinging Roche. They're actually going to have this THDD slight bit left on it, and there we go. Extra -8 meld. Goodbye, Roshan.
Dead, dead, dead. No chance for Roche. Holy snap. Once the 6K lead or such for OG has been cut almost in half. And it's now Vici Gaming, you know, evolving into this later game. That is becoming quite scary.
Charging forward. Very hard to deal with. You can't really look to that Ravage as a teamfight solution when heroes like TA have 2 lives. We'll see comes of it. Fly again. Oh! Whoa, that's
spotted deep, and then the Flame Break bump back? Oh, he's done for. Has an egg, but obviously not going to be able to use it here. He's just silenced up and taken out 72 seconds without a buyback.
That's definitely one of the downsides of being like a super high-level support at this stage. You often don't have money for buyback, and if you do die, it's a long time on the sidelines.
Yeah, crazy. So level 20, all those wonderful talents for Phoenix.
Split push from Anna bottom, though. He's going to get his level 25 off of this. Get that CPM, I'm sure. Still got to grow in terms of his itemization.
Oh, they're dishing everything they can for that little CK illusion.
Oh, he doesn't go GPM. He gets orb distance and speed. That is definitely unexpected.
I mean, I don't know, has many things been expected this game? I feel like the talents have been all over the place this game.
I think that's pretty rare in general across scenes, right? Getting the orb speed, just because like you're not really used to it, and unless you've been practicing with it, you end up overshooting spells or just like missing stuff, and it's kind of hard to play with.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of cute and you fly around the map, but Puck already does that without the orb speed is the thing in my mind. Like, it's going to be kind of... I mean, he's already impossible. In theory, he's meant to be impossible. He's got Lincoln's Yule's phase shift with Blink. Like, that is meant to be an unkillable Puck already.
That's like a choreographed dance of ganks that you have to kill the Puck with already. You have to, everyone has to hit the right maneuvers at the right time, but...
the other side of that is he's thinking, well, I'm already kind of 6-slotted. Do I really need more big items? And yeah, there's definitely room to grow. The Veil can be replaced by a Refresher. The Octarine he's got queued up. You can kind of go to that like 6-item Octarine, 7th item in your backpack Refresher. Dagon 5, of course, always a popular one for the late game pucks. And the GPM talent definitely gives you that money to spend on it. But
now we can orb real fast, gods. Look at that thing. Woo! Wasn't that worth it?
He could have picked up about 1,000 gold already.
Yeah, but you see that orb right there? He almost made it out of the base from the fountain. Now look at that one. Damn.
Yeah, I'm going to say this was the wrong call personally, but I don't know.
At TI, you get 420. At Mars, you get warp speed, buddy.
The actually only other time I saw the other time I remember seeing the orb speed picked up was actually his teammate S4 on an offlane puck doing the same thing. That was a bit different because it was like the very end of the game and like they were about to win, so I think he's just like, well, this game's over in the next 5 minutes. Why get GPM?
Radiant's top tower
this game could be far from over, and that's where I feel GPM is definitely attractive.
Yeah. You know, well, maybe we'll see the one big play that an orb had to be there that much faster, like that one.
Yeah.
You know, wouldn't have had the opportunity if the orb was there, you know, half a second later, let's say. Vici though still what looks like firm control here, moving as the buddy system, taking over OG's ancient camp.
But they just, that's okay. I mean, they're down money, but it's not really about money at this stage anymore. So maybe also the reason you don't get GPM, because is gold really going to be the deciding factor in a game like this? Not so much.
DD troll, factor potentially, but looks like they'll take that damage.
Radiant's top tower
Pop the
has
ult.
fallen.
Him and Ori will have a jolly old time wrecking through a tier 2.
Yeah, where are the late game bottles? This is where TA or Troll should have one in their backpack. Pick up some of those DD runes and whatnot.
Or just give it off to their little Alki Warlock so he can bottle things up for them or something. He's got 2 spots, I see.
You always want to have a late game bottle nowadays. It's one of those things where it's still very new and like it's hard to develop those new habits. And sometimes it'll just suddenly occur, like maybe 5 minutes from now I'll be like, oh yeah. It's like next time they see a DD rune, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we should buy a bottle for this. But how that plays out. Definitely a TA having like a double damage rune instead of a. You can put your Desolate in your backpack, pop your DD rune, and then swap it back in.
All right.
Go OG.
Here come OG.
As
That flight out, you know.
age is expiring, this is like a
Big moment.
pretty classic smoke timing though. Vici Gaming should be ready for it. We'll see just how ready for it they are.
See what kind of setup they can hope for here.
Assault's up on the CK, but no buyback for him, so he's got to have like a perfect.
All right, Ori's there in the lane. It could be bait, instant coil, instant boulder smash. Now the BKBs are going to get popped. The egg is committed on the other side. They get the Ori takedown. This is looking good for OG. Rock's committed. The Yang pullback's also there. They grab a hold of no tail, but there's no follow-up at all. And it looks like Vici Gaming are going to quickly spread out and try to get the hell out while they can. Yang, though, no chance for him. FY commits him with the Burrow with the epicenter right in the midst of the fight. That's going to force out S4 with the Greaves, with the Ravage. They get the pullback onto Ed. He's able to eat the cheese and survive. He turns to fight. The follow-up Burrow from FY is really good. Troll looking for a new target here. Tries to go hold for Ana. Ana is able to jump on the backside and make it away. And now Vici here going in for later rounds of this fight. Ori with the deep commitment in on the back end of his buyback here. They're hoping to take a fight, sliding in. FY can't find the target, gets silenced. Well, they continue to chase here. Jerix rolling forward, Ana's still there as well. Finally, Ed once in, he tries to get that bash, but he can't get it. Runs out the other way, and I think Vici will finally have to forfeit this one.
Okay. That's the TA buyback. That's if not, there's no further kills.
Oh, not me! No! Oh no! Poor Warlock all left behind. That fast orb caught right up to him. A coil too? Can't catch me in that glimmer. Damn you!
He's got the keeper of the like pervert voice now.
Yeah, also that Twitch chat neckbeard voice is all coming together too. It's all the same thing, I see.
Let's say the perfect trifecta, but really it's just the same person.
Well, yeah, first promising moments for OG, it felt. They still did lose no tail, but yeah, it costed Vici quite a bit.
TA buyback is scary because you're now playing in a situation where if TA gets jumped again like that, it could just be game over. So it's going to be very passive play out of Vici Gaming until they get that buyback back up, most likely. It's a full 6 minutes away though, and that means OG will have another opportunity. They've actually got another smoke to play with, so they can actually have a go and run at Vici Gaming once their ultis are back.
I might have to YOLO it sometimes. I mean, OG came into that last fight without buyback on the CK, so
yeah,
just kind of.
Well, and I think Vici Gaming take a page from OG's book. Go for a play. So they were kind of just sitting there farming the lane. They're trying to bait the TA rather than try and jump OG. They were waiting for OG to jump them and hoping to counterplay it, but the TA just died before they could do anything. The chain stun, Jerix gets the boulder smash, they immediately followed up with a coil. They tried to full stuff the coil to get that long Ags break stun, but I don't think they quite got it. But either way, it was a great idea. And here's the next smoke.
OG mid lane.
Troll could pop this.
Cooldowns are good.
Yeah.
Woo! Troll skipping right in through the river. Man, look at that orb fly.
Octarine Arcane, look at the cooldown on it, 5.775.
On that orb? Oh.
That is
Keep throwing them.
practically nothing. Oh, smoke up. They try to go in.
Coil caught on 2 from behind, forces out the early Yang BKB. Now Jerix committing in hard onto Ori. Rock finds good connection. The Fatal Bonds is also there. Troll moving in for the action to try to shred them all apart. Yang's gonna be the first one to go down. S4 finds the Ravage. The Rock is there once again though onto OG, but OG are surviving. Oh, with Vici committing everything they can, even the late game Epi, it's just still not going to be good enough. It's No Tail hitting it home with the ultra kill. I mean, it was a bit of a slideshow jump if I'm being honest here, but OG is winning it all the way through.
I was impressed you followed what was going on there.
God, people are dying suddenly, but OG's winning.
TA didn't do any damage with BKB, and then after the BKB, she got halberded. She did no damage. That's your most farmed hero, your highest DPS hero doing 0 damage in a key team fight. That's game over for you. Great execution from OG when it matters in those team fights.
That's OG finally getting their first win at Mars TV, which, you know, call